Today I'll be doing something a little different than usual. Normally I make videos about my cars, about like stuff that I've done to my truck, my car. But today I want to do something different. I want to show you guys this truck right here. This is a good friend of mine. His name's Felix. He's kind enough to let me look at his truck. Now, the reason I want to do this video is because a lot of times when you have a truck and you want to do stuff to it, you want to do mods to it, you don't really know what to do, you don't know where to start, you kind of just want some ideas. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys like a breakdown of all the mods, all the things done to this truck. So if you're watching this and you're looking at modifying your truck, this might give you some ideas. So let's do it. I really like the look. I think if Toyota ever made a Raptor, this is kind of what it would look like. I think it looks well done. But the first thing I want to talk about is the LEDs or lighting. So to start off, these are the Alpharex Lux headlights. I think they look good. They definitely give it a nice touch. Honestly, it looks just as good, if not better, than the OEM headlights. Now next, you got the Baja Designs fog lights. And you also got these Baja Designs ditch lights. You see, we also have the marker lights, just like as you would find in a Raptor. And you also have this 30-inch Lasfit LED bar. It's also amber, so it matches well with the fog lights as well as the ditch lights. As for the tires, these are the Atturo Trailblade XT. They are a 35 by 12.5 R17. Definitely have a wide, aggressive look. And as for the rims, these are the Falcon wheels T8 Seeker bronze. They are 17 by 9 with a -38 offset. So, definitely gives it a wide stance, a nice look. Now, because you have a long travel, the wheels are pushed out 2 inches on either side. So the front wheels don't have any spacers, but the rear wheels, they do. So you got an 1.5 inch spacer on the 2 rear wheels to match well with the front. That way the front wheels are not poking out wider than the rear wheels. So now moving on to the fenders, these are obviously not the original Tacoma fenders. These are the advanced fiberglass 4-inch wide body fenders. These are front and rear, as you can tell. Definitely gives it a nice look. Now, one thing to note is that these fenders don't come with this material lined up. Like if you order them, they don't come like that. In this case, after they've been painted to match the color of the truck, a buddy of mine, the owner, had this done to him. So I think it gives it a nice look. It definitely matches better and it looks more like the OEM fenders, because the TRD off-road Tacomas, they have like the unpainted black trim. So that was really what the goal here was to have that same look with these fenders. So I think it looks really good, ties in well together. And as for this hood, this is also not the original hood. This is the Amerihood fiberglass hood. Now, one thing that I really like is that this is actually a functional hood scoop. Now, Tacomas, a lot of them, they do come with a hood scoop, but it's not really functional, it's not real, it's really just for looks, which I'm not a huge fan of, but this definitely solves that, gives it a much nicer look, and has some functionality to it. Now, as for the tint, this is 15% window tint all around. I am trying to convince the owner to get windshield tint. May not be legal, but who cares? So now moving on to the suspension, I'm gonna start off with the front first and then I'll work my way back to the rear. But just to start off, when it comes to long travel, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of things you have to replace, to modify, upgrade, because the factory suspension is just not gonna handle the same load, the same capacity. So to start off, these are the Bajakits control arms. You have a uniball ball joint right there, which is like way more durable, gives you more play, gives you more range. And then you also have the lower control arms. They're both same brand, come together in a package. Now, this is what I mentioned earlier, that it gives you a 2-inch wider stands. So this truck doesn't have spacers. Just the control arms alone will push out your wheels and tires by 2 inches. So this truck, as it sits, is 4 inches wider than factory. Now, if you look at it the way this truck is, it's about a 4-inch lift. So it's about 4 inches taller than factory. Now, as for the shocks, these are the Kings 2.5 with a reservoir. So you can tell right there, like the extended reservoir. And now, when it comes to long travel, you also want to get long travel CV axles, just because I'm talking about these right here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to these right here, like this right there, as well as limit straps. So I actually didn't even know about this, but it's a good idea to have these right here, because this is really going to help you from flexing too much if you're ever like off-roading and you're in some, like, you know, rocks or whatever. This is going to protect you from flexing too much and potentially breaking your spindle, which is this right here, this that I'm touching. Of course, you're going to have extended brake lines front and rear. These red lines right here are extended brake lines. Now, moving on to the rear suspension. Now, to match the capabilities on the front, obviously the factory shocks, they're not built for that much travel. So when it comes to installing new shocks, you're going to want to replace, you're gonna have to really get another relocation kit. So this right here is the Archive Garage shock relocation kit. It's also known as a tower. This is basically welded onto the frame, and what that does is it allows you to mount these way bigger shocks, so it gives you way more travel. These are 14-inch shocks. So the original shocks, they stop at like right here, but obviously these, they go way up higher, so they have way more travel. And what's really good about these shocks is you can adjust them. You can make them softer or harder, depending if you're going to be off-roading a lot or if you're just going to do a lot of street driving. So that's really cool. You also have extended brake lines, as well as Timbren bump stops. I don't know if you can see right there, the brake lines. You also have a 1.5-inch add-a-leaf. It's going to be this right here. Now the rear is sitting at about a 4-inch lift as well. I'd say 3 to 4 inch. You can kind of tell if it matches with the front. Yeah, right there you have the Lasfit rocklights. Same ones I got. They're really good. I like them. There, those are the Alpharex taillights. Now for the sliders, I believe these are the Cali raised LED sliders. These are bolted on, so they're not welded. So, you know, it's really up to you if you want to have them bolted or welded. Obviously, if they're welded, that's permanent. Whereas if they're bolted like this, you can remove them anytime you want. So I'm actually thinking about getting something like this for my truck. So I might do that. Might do that later on. But yeah, overall, I mean, this truck's really pretty well done. Now, obviously, when you're getting into bigger wheels and tires, it's always a good idea to up your performance as well. So this truck does have a tune. It's an OV tune. It's also got a cold air intake, and it's been regeared. So the front and rear differentials have been upgraded to be able to handle these bigger wheels and tires. It's a must-have. I think it's definitely a must-have. Me personally, I haven't regeared my truck yet, and I can definitely feel a lack of power. So this truck doesn't have that. It's really good. Also got a TRD skid plate down here. Kind of goes well with the rest of the truck. Yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah, dude, it does not feel like, it doesn't feel like it's lifted, or it feels factory.
I'm telling you, the weight of the 35s, you can't even feel it.
Yeah. All right, 0 to 60, launch control.
picks up pretty good.
0 to 30. Ain't no 60.
0 to 60 eventually. Bro, I could totally like have fun with this. I would have a lot of speeding tickets if I had a truck like this.
It's weird to say for a Tacoma.
I know, right? I know, but mine is just so slow with the 35s and like not regeared.
I'm telling you, and that tune helps as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Now, if you guys want to look into getting some LEDs for yourself, for your truck, check out Lasfit. They're a good brand. I have rock lights on my truck, so they're definitely worth it. Now, if you want to look into like maybe ditch lights, fog lights, LED bars, like this truck has, there'll be a link in the description or maybe in the screen here somewhere. So if you want to check them out, get a discount, and you know, feel free to check out my buddy's Instagram if you want to see more of this truck. And I'll have more videos coming out from my truck as well. So thanks for watching. Y'all stay blessed.